man in Bengaluru got pissed at a food and groceries delivery app for giving him half kg tomatoes for free. He argued that even if it was for free, it wasn't his choice and therefore the app was guilty of basket sneaking. What is basket sneaking, you might ask? Well, it is one type of dark or deceptive patterns that exist in the digital world.
Everything was planned.
Dark patterns are something that companies indulge in to make you do things that you didn't want to do. A UK-based user experience designer, Harry Brignall, coined the term dark patterns in 2010. He also founded the Dark Patterns platform, which he said was dedicated to naming and shaming websites that use deceptive user interfaces. The Indian government has also taken note of these dark patterns, which we will explore further in this video. According to the Ministry of Consumer Affairs guidelines for prevention and regulation of dark patterns are any practices or deceptive design pattern using user interface or user experience interactions on any platform that is designed to mislead or trick users to do something they originally did not intend to do or want to do by subverting or impairing the consumer autonomy, decision-making, or choice, amounting to misleading advertisement or unfair trade practice or violation of consumer rights. This is a loaded definition, but in simple terms, dark patterns is anything that a digital platform makes you do, which you did not want to do. The definition also says that the dark patterns are a violation of consumer rights. Now, I will get into the different examples of dark patterns according to the guidelines for prevention and regulation of dark patterns. The first one is false urgency, like when you're trying to book a room on a website, right? And suddenly a pop-up will say only 2 rooms left and 30 others are looking at this right now. And now you as a customer are feeling like you need to book it at the first instance, otherwise you will miss a good deal. This dark pattern is showing you false popularity of a product or service to manipulate your decision. The second example of dark pattern is basket sneaking, which the customer whom I introduced in the beginning of this video had accused a company of. Basket sneaking is when you're checking out and the company adds more products to your cart, which increases the payable amount at the end. Confirm shaming is another example of a dark pattern. Confirm shaming is a prompt that forces a customer to conform to the company's target. Like a message might pop up which could shame you as a customer into doing something you hadn't originally planned to do, and then you end up spending more. It's a tactic to create a sense of guilt or shame in the customer. For example, if you choose not to opt for travel insurance while booking a flight, a pop-up might say, "I will choose to remain unsecured." And then you might want to choose that insurance because language like "remain unsecured" might create a sense of guilt or fear in your mind. Nagging is a self-explanatory dark pattern method. It means when a digital platform nags a customer so much, they end up acting the way the platform wanted. Like if I'm trying to buy lipsticks off a website, it might repeatedly ask me to download the company's app or ask me to turn on notifications without giving me the option to say no. Next is interface interference. This is a company website or app which is designed in a way to highlight specific information and obscure other relevant information, basically to misdirect a person. An example of this is an ad pop-up which might show you an X mark to close the ad. But when you click on it, you realize it wasn't a real closing option and it led you to the ad itself. When a company wants to urge you to buy something, they might give you the yes and no options in different colors, with the affirming option being more prominently colored as compared to the rejecting option. As a user, you might inadvertently click on the brighter option, which was yes. Sometimes when you end up subscribing to things this way and want to stop subscribing, the route for that might be a long-winded one on the website or app, and many people might not have the bandwidth or desire to go all that way to reverse their action. This is an example of the Roach Motel dark pattern, where entering the subscription is easy but leaving is difficult.
Check-in time is now, check-out time is never.
Another dark pattern method is bait and switch. This is when a company offers you a product, but when you try to buy it, it tells you that the product is out of stock and then it offers you an alternate option which is pricier.
आपने अभी 10 रुपए किलो कहा?
तो?
अरे अभी तो आपने मुझे 15 में बेचे.
Sometimes when you opt for the trial period of a service, you might automatically get charged for it once the trial period ends. That's another dark pattern for you. These are only some dark patterns that we all inadvertently fall prey to. But is there any way we could avoid them? In the case of the Bengaluru man who tweeted about the free tomatoes, removing the free goods wasn't an option, he said. When other social media users pointed out that it wasn't technically basket sneaking because the app didn't charge him for the tomatoes, the man said it was still something he had to do without his consent. Sometimes dark patterns are inescapable, and besides tricking customers into spending more on products, dark patterns also might be used to track people's activity online. So the first thing a user could do is make themselves more aware about dark patterns and be mindful while using digital platforms so they could possibly avoid them. And in case they've been made to choose an option that they didn't want, they could take it up with the customer service of the particular platform. In December 2023, the Indian government banned 13 dark pattern practices. The guidelines for prevention and regulation of dark patterns applied to all platforms that offer goods and services in India, including advertisers and sellers.